Welcome everybody to Motive Racing's weekly roundup here for the Wednesday night series on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 platforms. We saw some excellent racing across both series for the PS4 multi-class and the GT4 Ginetta PS5 cash prize round 1 series at Donington Park. A very wet race at Nürburgring. We saw a first time winner crowned in the GT4 class and a second time winner crowned in the GT3s. Lots of action was seen at the start of the race, but by the end of it, it was Video Gamer who took his second win in the space of 2 weeks in the GT3 class and really closing the gap to Cheese Monkey and Recco Vantage Championship. Cheese Monkey extending his gap over Recco Vantage ever so slightly. PS Vids finishing in third ahead of Recco Vantage. Torde finished in fifth with Mad Max in P6. In terms of the GT4 class, Pete Bibb taking his first win here at Motive. It's been a while. He's been racing here for a long time. And absolute veteran here of our GT4. Great to see Pete Bibb finally breaking his duck and taking a win. John Jig taking second place ahead of Duke Martin completing the podium. King Quinn took fourth place ahead of Ryan Ribby in fifth, followed by Nilsson finishing in sixth. Codlugu seventh, and the Lazy Camel completing the classification in P8. Championship looking like this for the GT3s. Cheese Monkey taking the lead, taking a 5-point lead over Recco Vantage. 106 points for Cheese Monkey, 101 for Recco Vantage. PS Vids in third. Video Gamer though coming for all of these guys, having taken 2 wins in the space of 2 weeks, and he's on an absolute charge here in this season. Video Gamer going to be a hot shot for this title, I'm sure. Xanderfander unfortunately retiring from the championship, unable to make the rest of the season due to personal life things, so that's a shame, but obviously we're in for a championship with the guys that are at the top. GT4's John Jig taking the lead in the championship by 16 points, clear of Ryan Ruby in second place. Pete Bibb coming up into third place in the standings with his win on 88 points. Codlingu fourth, still yet to take his first year at Motive on 81 points. Duke Martin in the fifth place currently in the standings. In terms of the PS5, we saw the GT4 Ginetta Cup, our first cash prize event on ACC at Donington. It was an absolutely great night. We saw Tynus in the house taking the win in the first race.
But Tynus in the house is going to come out of the final corner. He's going to take the first ever cash prize event here at Motive, with another one still to come after this. He'll have to start from the...
So altogether across the 2 races, it was Jazzman who took the most prize money, taking a win in the second race after a second place in the first race. Jazzman and Tynus in the house having an absolute smashing night, taking £29 for the AOR Team Pro. So those guys absolutely knocking it out of the park here for the first cash prize event here for this little series that we got going. Make sure you join us, guys. If anybody's interested in getting involved, then make sure you sign up for our second round of the series. Anybody can sign up. You don't have to be part of the championship. There is no championship to be part of. You just sign up for each and every event that there is. The second one will be at Snetterton in the Porsche Cayman GT4 cars on the 27th of April in 3 weeks' time, as we said. But I want to say a big thank you to everybody for checking out this weekly roundup here at Motive for the Wednesday night series. And if you like what you see, if you want to get involved, be sure to go to www.motiveracing.com. As always, like and subscribe, and we will catch you in the next video. Take it easy, everybody. See you later. Motive Racing GT3 Championship on the PS4 took place for round 4 at Zolder last Sunday. It was an exciting qualifying session. Camden's eventually coming out on top, getting pole position, even despite this little mistake after he already set his pole lap.
Wallops the curve there, and into the wall he goes coming through the chicane. It's a tricky.
But as we said, despite that, he was still able to convert that to P1 in qualifying. So it was Camden's on pole ahead of MTL Bloodshot, lining up in second place. Rapid Duck in third, of Rocco fourth. Followed by PS4 to start this one in fifth place. Snow Wolf in P6, followed by Zaloba in seventh, Recco Vantage 8th. Nilsson 9th, Orange Rally 10th, Carmet in 11th, followed by Apollo Aston 12th, and Edis Allcom rounding out the grid in P13. Camden's managed to put out a bit of a gap at the start, had a 1.3 gap at the end of the first lap, but then this happened.
The race leader has dropped it coming out of the first chicane. That's going to move MTL Bloodshot off into the lead of the race.
And that ultimately handed the advantage to MTL Bloodshot in the early stages of the race. Camden's dropping down to third place behind MTL Bloodshot's main rival for the championship, Rocco. But then Camden's managed to get himself into second place, and a few laps later, MTL Bloodshot, bit of deja vu here, did pretty much almost exactly the same thing as Camden's, but actually managed to catch it, unlike Camden's. So
just coming around to fact. MTL Bloodshot has made a mistake, and Camden's looking around the outside. MTL were horribly wide there through the first chicane, the same place where Camden's made a mistake before.
Gave the lead back to Camden's and gave him the
lead of the race.
The ascendancy once again.
Staying at around the same. It's gone up a little bit. Camden's continuing to just gradually increase his gap at the front.
But then it was the pit stops that really changed everything. It was that where MTL Bloodshot was able to take the ball by the horns.
Cam into the lead of the race. That's the big news here through the pit window. MTL Bloodshot now leads the race by a couple of seconds. But did he change tyres? I think he might have changed tyres, you know. I don't know.
From here, Cam knew he had a lot of work to do, and he managed to get a bit lucky with the back markers. MTL Bloodshot getting a little bit held up, put Cam poised to do something about it, but then this.
No. Oh my goodness, Camden's has lost it. Camden's has spun it coming out of the second of the first chicane, and that's going to give MTL Bloodshot a huge lead. It's going to give him comfort out of the front of
a second mistake in the same corner for Camden's, ultimately taking the possibility of a win pretty much away from him at this point. Final lap of the race, Camry did have a bit of an assault on MTL Bloodshot. Looked like he had a bit of a chance. He managed to really close the gap by about 7 or 8 seconds, but then
oh my goodness me, he
ran a
almost
bit
goes into the
wide.
barriers there.
And that pretty much put pay to any chances that he might have had of being able to take the win. So MTL Bloodshot was able to see this one out. And well, Camden's, to be fair to him, probably did have the pace in this one, and probably was the quickest driver out on track, but in terms of consistency and keeping a cool head, MTL Bloodshot got to get full marks.
The final chicane is going to take another win here. Our Motive in the GT3s here on the PS4. Great driving from MTL Bloodshot tonight. He's going to extend the gap. He's going to, take the lead of the championship over Rocco. He's going to have an 8-point gap going into next week at Barcelona. Congratulations, MTL Bloodshot.
So MTL Bloodshot taking an impressive win in the end, coming out on top ahead of Cam Diz. MTL Bloodshot's main rival for the championship, Rocco, down in third place, so that will obviously have helped MTL, the fact that Cam Diz was racing. So MTL Bloodshot leads the championship by 8 points going into the final 2 rounds. Make sure you join us this coming Sunday, everybody, because we're going to be at Barcelona for this one, and this championship is really heating up. It's pretty tight at the top. MTL's been quicker the last few rounds, but Rocco's still there, poised to do something. Definitely check out the rest of this season, guys. It's going to be epic. But I want to say a big thank you to everybody. Please do drop a like on the video, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care, everybody.
Another win here. Our Motive in the GT3s here on the PS4. Great driving from MTL Bloodshot tonight. He's going to extend the gap. He's going to, take the lead of the championship over Rocco. He's going to have an 8-point gap going into next week at Barcelona. Congratulations, MTL Bloodshot. What a drive and brilliant composure. Coolness personified at the end of that one. MTL Bloodshot takes the win ahead of Cam Diz in GT3s here on the PS4. Great driving from MTL Bloodshot tonight. He's going to extend the gap. He's going to, take the lead of the championship. MTL Bloodshot. What a drive and brilliant composure. Coolness personified at the end of that one. MTL Bloodshot takes the win ahead of Cam Diz in second place. Rocco, the champion student, coming into this round, will be second going into the penultimate round of the season next week at Barcelona. 8 points separating the 2 championship contenders in favour of him.
My heart rages around like an ocean.
Motive Racing's GT3 Championship on the PlayStation 5 platform, headed to Spa-Francorchamps for round 4 of the season. Once again, Jazzman and Titus in the house, the main contenders in the qualifying session. But Titus here through Blanchimont and down towards the bus stop chicane. What can he do here? He's got 4 tenths to find. Hasn't got much really to Jazzman. Jazzman's taken a clean sweep of poles so far this season, 3 from 3, but Titus in the races has taken a clean sweep. He's taken 3 from 3 in the races. So Jazzman, the qualifying specialist, Titus, a bit of a racer up towards the line. Titus can't improve at the moment, stays in P2 for now. So a great lap there from Jazzman, 4 tenths clear once again, but was that going to be enough for him come the race? It's going to be Jazzman starting on pole position ahead of his championship rival. Jazzman now 4 poles from 4 races so far this season, but Titus in the house, the man starting alongside him on the front row, should I say, in second place, has taken all 3 wins so far this season. So Jazzman will be wanting to convert this pole. It'd be the first time he could do that this season if he's able to do that. So the tensions were made their way down. Of course, the 2 contenders very much getting ready for another assault around Spa-Francorchamps, but also the rest of them as well. As we could see, Rompu, Emrosh, and a funny-looking guy all looking to scrap it out for the podium spots. But in the end, it was Jazzman who took his first win of the season, finally breaking his duck after an incredible number of pole positions, doing a fantastic race, and didn't really put a foot wrong, and doing some celebratory donuts at the end to cap it off. Titus did come around to take P2 in the end, but a well-deserved win there from Jazzman in the end. So the championship looking like this. Titus in the house and Jazzman now tied on 166 points. So it's going to be all to play for in the final 2 races of the season. Battle for 3rd in the championship, best of the rest. Dakuno is still heading the way in that one. He's pulled a little way clear of Emrosh and Krukip, and Raki starting to bring himself into that battle as far as in 7th place, and Rompu, I think, a little bit out of that one now, unfortunately. Make sure you join us next Sunday, or this coming Sunday, at Zolder for the next round of the season. Practice will be on from 6 p.m, but the qualifying will be on at 7:30 with the race from around 7:45. Like and subscribe, guys, and join us again. We'll see you very soon. Take care, everybody. See you later. Flanagan got a bit of a hesitation there as he couldn't go through Rompu, and there you go, Emrosh looking to the inside of Rompu, up through Radion they come for the first time, but Jazzman holds on to the lead. Titus though has got a fantastic run here, coming down the Kemmel straight. I don't think he's picking up enough of the slipstream though to really get around him coming up towards Lacombe. He's going to try and look underneath him here, but Jazzman's going to hold that inside line as he knows to leave the door open. Titus a little bit too far back to make anything happen there into Lacombe for the first time, but it's Jazzman from Titus, from Emrosh, from Decrudo. A funny looking guy losing out there. Rompu's dropped back a few places here. He's down to 7th place. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Motive Racing YouTube channel. We're here on our Wednesday night show for the PlayStation 4 platform for the multi-class series in the GT3 and the GT4 class. As you may recognise, we are at the famous Suzuka. Suzuka, the home of the Formula 1 Japanese Grand Prix, host to many a dramatic title decider throughout the years, and all sorts of weather can be expected in these parts. But for now, it looks like we've got some dry weather for this evening race here, and I think we're in for a bit of a treat. Last time I raced here at Suzuka, it was very, very rainy and tricky and pretty unpredictable for the GT4s. Tonight, though, it looks like we've got crispy, clean weather, a bit like we did in the first race in the GT4s at this track about a year or so ago now. It must have been. That was actually the race where your boy actually came second to Javier Ranz in what was my crowning achievement in the GT4s, or indeed in ACC in general. But enough about me. Back to the action, and we're currently just coming to the end of the practice session here for this one. Reco Vantage currently setting the pace, looking very strong, but hasn't got much of a gap to PS Vids, so it's looking like a pretty close qualifying session, I've got to say. Not really much separating the top guys at the moment, but we're into the qualifying session here, so now this is where it all counts. This is where the drivers earn their bread, earn their bacon, and this is where blood, sweat and tears will be excreted. Is that the word? I don't know. Probably not, but nonetheless, we're getting into the qualifying session for the GT4 class now. The GT4s and the GT3s go out separately for this little multi-class. For those who are new to this series, the GT4s spend the first 10 minutes out on the track, obviously putting their lap times in, seeing what they can do, and then the midpoint of the session between minutes 10 and 15, it's the same regardless of which side you look at it. Between minutes 10 and 15 of the session is kind of like the cool down phase where the GT4 cars can finish a lap, but they must be in the pits by the time we get to the 10-minute mark. If any GT4 cars are out on the track after the 10-minute mark has been reached, then they are in breach of the rules and can face a penalty. I think the rule is that they have to start from the pit lane for the actual race itself, so all GT4 cars must make sure that they are within the confines of the pit lane by the time we get to the 10-minute mark. And likewise for the GT3 cars, any GT3 drivers who exit the pit lane before the 10-minute to go mark in the session will also get penalised and will have to start from the back. So it's very much in the interest of these drivers to make sure that they are either in the pits, well, basically in the pits, yeah. that's the upshot of it. But obviously the GT4 cars out on the track at the moment. Let's get the GT4 championship standings up on the screen. Let's give us a bit of context here on the stream. So it's Jonjic currently leading the way on 130 points, having taken a very consistent haul of points so far this season. 2 third places in the opening 2 rounds and a couple of second places over the past 2 weeks. So Jonjic without a win this season, but consistency, as we said, has been definitely what's kept him up the top of the championship. Ryan Ruby sat in second place in the standings, has taken 2 wins, but the other 2 races that he's raced in have been absolutely diabolical. Ryan has been up and down, here, there and everywhere over the course of this season. He'll be hoping he can get a bit more consistency in these final 2 rounds. He needs to gain 16 points on Jonjic, so he has a lot of work to do, but he would gain quite significantly on Jonjic if he is able to get some good points here tonight. So we'll keep an eye on this one, see how this one goes. This could be still wide open between these two, but Ryan needs, realistically, he needs to win tonight to keep his championship alive. But those two currently 1 and 2. Pete Bibb, big shout out to Pete Bibb. He took his first win at Motive last week at the Nürburgring, and unfortunately for Pete, and I am really sorry about this, Pete, we weren't able to cover it on the stream because basically we had problems with the we had all sorts of problems last time out. So for some reason my internet decided to go down midway through the session, so unfortunately we weren't able to stream for the rest of it. But Pete Bibb did take his first win, so massive shout out to Pete Bibb for that one, and sorry we couldn't cover that, mate. I did try and put in a highlights package, which if those of you who were early birds here tonight would have been able to watch that in the build up. But yeah, well done to Pete Bibb on taking a superb win last week at the Nürburgring, and can he make it to wins in a row this week. We'll have to wait and see on that one. But back to the standings anyway. So we got Peter in third, Codalungu fourth on 81 points, Duke Martin in fifth on 64, followed by King Quid in sixth place on 60 points. Nilsson sits seventh on 59, followed by Snooky in eighth place on 30 points. The Lazy Camel in ninth on 24 points, followed by PJ in 10th on 2 points, and Thomas Vieira never got off the mark. He didn't turn up to a single race. But that is your GT4 standings, as the GT4 drivers are now on their first runs of the session, and most of them are anyway. Who's the furthest up on the track? It looks like Ryan Ruby's just coming up towards 130R on his first flying lap, so we're going to ride with Ryan here. He's been saying in the Discord server he's been doing 2-minute 12s over the course of this week in practice. Now I seem to remember my fastest lap around this track was a 2:12.5, I think. That was a few seasons ago now. The physics of the game have changed a little bit since then. My actual qualifying lap I think was a 2:12.8. That was the one that came second to Javier Runs. But let's see what Ryan can do here. John Jig's got done a 2:14.4, and Ryan comes over the line, and that is an invalid lap time for Ryan, so that's not going to count there for him. It's as if it never even happened. Milson coming over and goes P2, 2 seconds off of the pace of John Jig. Pete Bibbs still out there. Duke Martin coming up towards 130. Tribe Racing, good friend of Ryan, here tonight, coming out of the final corner. What can he put on the board here as he comes up towards the line? As we just see Codalungu splitting John Jig and Milson into P2. Tribe over the line goes P2 with that one. 4/10 adrift of John Jig. So it's reasonably close at the top of the leaderboard between John Jig and Tribe. But no one really showing their mettle at this stage in the session. We know that the 2-minute 12s are possible. Who knows, maybe even a 2:11 maybe from Brian or from anybody really. Yeah, but you know, Ryan probably my favourite. Ryan or Cod maybe. Cod potentially could have the pace to get in the 2:12s. We'll have to see. But still plenty of time in this session as these GT4 drivers just get up to speed. And they've still got a good 5 minutes or so before they need to start thinking about getting themselves back in the pits. But yeah, they're just still getting up ahead of Steve at the moment. We've got Lightblade in the comments this evening, guys. Welcome along, Lightblade. Good to see you in the comments as always. Big fan of Motive. Lightblade, also member of Run DJC, the team Run DJC boys, being repped by Codalungu and Ryan in the GT4 class tonight. And also Eric the Viking goes Snooky, he says, voicing his support for David Snook, currently 5th place in this session at the moment. He's 1.6 off for the pace, but making his return to Motive this week after unfortunately having to miss last week. So good to see Snooky back out on the track, driving the number 76 Mercedes AMG. And Snooky has actually said to us behind the scenes, he says he wants to get involved a little bit more behind the scenes here at Motive. He wants to possibly join us on the comms for a couple of races, so that'll be good to have him have his insight and have his expertise on some of these drivers. He's obviously raced against these guys who race in this series for a few seasons now, so that will be good to see. For those who aren't aware, we're going to be running a cash prize series for the PlayStation 4 platform after this season, so it won't be a regular season like we've had before. There will be weekly events, there will be prizes on offer, it will be different cars, different tracks, mainly GT4 cars. We might throw in a couple of GT3s, but it will be all one make series, so it will be everybody in the same car, open setup, do whatever you like with the car, but everyone's driving the same car. And that will be an exciting one because obviously everybody's on a level playing field, everybody's on the exact same page, so we're looking forward to getting that one going at the end of this season. But currently Snooky running in P6, he's coming through Spoon Curve, he's 2.3 off of the pace as Codalungu's gone fastest on a 2:13.7, so we're edging towards the sort of pace that we've been hearing about in the practice. Ryan Ruby has been absolutely talking it some in the Discord in the build up to this one. He said he can do the 2-minute 12s. Now is the time to deliver. He's talked the talk. Now can he walk the walk as he's coming through Degner 2 and up to the Bridgestone Bridge. Kick-ups are coming in thick and fast tonight. I don't know what it is. They are really, really plaguing me. I feel alright, but they are absolutely not stopping right now, so hopefully I can kind of get into a rhythm and get over that little hurdle. But right now Ryan Ruby coming on the exit of the Kobayashi hairpin. Can't remember what this corner's called, but I always think of it as the Kobayashi hairpin, and he's coming on this long run. You want to get a good exit out of that hairpin because it is a lot of it's a long time on full throttle here as Ryan comes up towards Spoon, gets a little bit wide on the entry. You don't want to be too wide, you don't want to risk tagging that grass, but you want to maximise your speed. It's a never-ending corner is Spoon, so your entry isn't actually as pivotal as you might think it is, down to the fact that you can really change your line and recover recover any lost time for the second part just by adjusting and trying. You can scrub a lot of speed, but you can also definitely gain a lot of time on the exit. But here comes Ryan through 130R, flat scat as he comes through here and down towards the final chicane. Ryan Ruby still yet to lap in this session, second in the championship. He trails Jonjic by 16 points and knows he needs a good round this week. Here he comes, absolutely ratting over those curbs through the chicane. As we can see, King Quin's gone up into third place so far in this session. Here comes Ryan Ruby though, up towards the line. What can he put on the board here? Ryan Ruby here crosses the line and he goes P1. Unsurprising there. Ryan Ruby 2:13 dead, not quite into the 2-minute 12s. We've heard what he's able to do. He's been saying in the build up to this one that he's able to get into the 2-minute 12s, but he hasn't done that so far. But he's certainly showing that he's got plenty of metal here tonight. As Lightbird in the comments says, run DJC, booyah. We need some competition groups. Well, you know what that is, guys. If anybody looking in the comments knows that or has any teams that you want to challenge Run DJC with here at Motive, then be sure to sign yourselves up to the championships or one-off races, whatever you want to do. Sign up to our races or championships via our partners, simleaguepro.com. Be sure to go to www.motiveracing.com. The link is actually in the comments section. If you look at the Nightbot, that's constantly posting, well, it's actually posting our Patreon link, but it's also posting our website link. And you can click that one, you can head over to our website, and then all you need to do is click join the leagues at the top of the website. That will take you to simleaguepro.com and you can sign up to the championships. You can become a part of the championships straight away there. All of the admin, all of our tables, standings, lineups, information about the next races, information about the entire calendar are on simleaguepro.com. What a job those guys do in terms of being able to facilitate the running of sim leagues on the PlayStation and the PC as well. And these guys, simleaguepro.com, absolute legends. Run by the Lazy Camel, as well as a few of his friends, partners and whatnot. But we see Ryan Ruby into the pits, so he's done for the session there. Provisional pole position looking like that's going to be his, unless Jonjic can find 1.3 seconds here at the end of this session. King Quin's still out there as well, just coming through final part of the lap. You've got Pete Bibb and Nilsson coming out of the last corner. What can Nilsson put on the board here as he comes up towards the line? Can he get himself further up than 8th place in this session? No, he stays in P8. That's going to be that then. That's a wrap for Nilsson. Jonjic just behind King Quin on the track. We've got Pete Bibb coming to the first sector as well. So here they come then, and what are they going to put on the board? Jonjic improves his time by 0.2, but not enough to get himself up the order, so he stays in P3. King Quin didn't improve, stayed in 5th place. So it's going to be Ryan Ruby starting on pole for the GT4s ahead of Kodlungu, who will line up in 2nd place. Jonjic 3rd ahead of Duke Martin in 4th. King Quin 5th, followed by Tribe Racing in 6th. Pete Bibb 7th, Nilsson in 8th, and Snooky rounding out the 9-man GT4 field here for this one. So going to be an exciting one. We believe that Pete Bibb's still out there on a lap, and so is Nilsson actually. These guys need to get themselves into the pits sharpish. Are they going to risk it for a biscuit, try and stay out? They need to be in the pits by the 10-minute mark. That's the rule, that's the limit. If you're out on the track after the 10-minute mark, then you have to start from the back. That's the rule, and unfortunately that's the way the cookie crumbles. So these guys need to make sure they are in the pits by the 10-minute mark. I don't think Pete Bibb's got enough time to get round, do a lap and get himself in the pits, so he's going to have to bring it in this time around then. So Pete Bibb trundling around to come into the pits, and Nilsson will have to do the same at the end of this lap as well. So that is that then for the GT4 class. Couple of minutes to go until the GT3s hit the track. Let us know in the comments, guys, who you think's going to be the winner for the GT4 class and the GT3s later on as well. But let us know your predictions for the GT4s. Ryan looking very, very strong, and at the moment he's got that upper hand over his championship rival Jonjic. But anything can still happen over the course of this season. Let's get the championship standings up for a bit of context. So Jonjic leading the way on 130 points ahead of Ryan in 2nd on 114. Pete Bibb sits 3rd on 88 points. He's not out of it yet, but realistically I think he's got a bit of a mountain to climb there. Kodlungu sits 4th on 81 points ahead of Duke Martin on 64. King Quin on 60 in 6th place, followed by Nilsson in 7th on 59 points. Snooky in 8th on 30 points. The Lazy Camel sits 9th on 24 points. PJ 10th on 2 points, and Thomas Vieira has not started a race this season. So that is that then for the GT4 standings so far this season. 1 minute to go until the GT3 cars hit the track, so we're getting ready now as we've got a few more comments coming in right now. Like they says, where's Freeman tonight? Freeman's not with us, unfortunately. Couldn't make the comms for this evening, which is a shame because it's great to have him alongside me in the box. It always is good to have his insight and somebody else to bounce off of throughout the night, but unfortunately real life has come first, so unfortunately we don't have Freeman for tonight. Apologies guys, I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry we couldn't bring you Freeman's dulcet tones alongside my dulcet tones within the commentary box, but High Grade saying in the comments, good luck Mad Max. Mad Max in the GT3 class will be hoping to have a better race this time than last week, weren't he? I mean, Mad Max had nothing short of a nightmare last week at the Nürburgring. He had a horrific start to the race and was playing catch up from there on. So Mad Max, we know he's a quick driver. We've heard before he races in AOR, he's quick over there, so he's got the potential. He just needs to stay out of trouble at the start, basically, when he can have a decent race. We got Senior Gamer, that's Torday there, saying slipping and sliding all night. I'm rooting for Echo Vantage. Torday, you can't say that, you're meant to be racing, son. Well, he is, well, to be fair, I mean, Torday's getting better every week, so, you know, don't count yourself out of a good position tonight. As Ryan in the comments there, Ryan Ruby saying P1 again, baby, as the 10-minute mark's now done, so the GT3 cars will be hitting the track. They will be getting themselves out onto the track ASAP. They haven't got much time, only 10 minutes. It's a 10-minute shootout for these GT3 boys. But PS Vid, Recco, Rust the Rebel and Video Gamer all straight out on the track. But yeah, Ryan pretty happy with the P1 in the comments there, and it's a great lap there from him. 7/10 clear of Kodlungu, so it's not like it's a close session at all. Ryan has got something over the other guys here tonight, but can he put that to fruition over the course of a 1 hour race? He needs to be consistent. He needs to not make mistakes like he did last time out at the Nürburgring. As we've got Guitar Rich in the comments saying, hey Andy, welcome along Guitar Rich, good to see you. Been a while since we've seen you in the comments, should I say? But welcome back, mate. I know that Guitar Rich is a big fan of, I think it's John Jig, isn't it? John Jig's your man, isn't it? Guitar Rich, I think they're good friends, I believe. Guitar Rich and John Jig. Yeah, Guitar Rich used to race with us a few times in the Project Cars 2 leagues. Sim Pro Xander Flander saying, good evening all, welcome along Xander, good to see you. We raced in a couple of times over the course of this season, raced in the first couple of rounds, raced in the first round in the GT4 class, and then switched to the GT3 class for the second round. And this is the thing, Xander Flander, the only driver this season, the only driver ever at Motive to win 2 different races in a multi-class series in 2 different categories. He won the GT4 class in the first week as Zolder, and the second week he changed to the GT3 class and then won that one as well. So Xander Flander, the only driver ever here at Motive to win in 2 different categories in the same championship in the same season. So Xander Flander, that is real record, and I don't know if that one's going to be beaten, to be honest with you. It's a pretty impressive one. As we got David Snook saying hard out there tonight. Definitely does look a little bit tricky. In the colder conditions, it's going to be a bit more challenging for these drivers because, as we all know, once it gets a little bit cold, the grip starts to, well, it can make it better because it can be less slidey, but the tyres don't warm up as easily, so it's a bit of a, it has its pros and cons. Well, the track temperature not really too low, it's 24 degrees, so 24 degrees isn't too bad when you think about it. It could be a lot worse. Shout out to Team BM, says Xander Flander, proper racers. Obviously the Team BM guys, Duke, Martin and Kinquin, doing a good job tonight, P4 and 5. So definitely a solid qualifying session from them. Betting on Mad Max tonight as an outside bet. Hashtag NSX, he says. Well, at the moment, Mad Max is, as we said, got work to do from last week because last week was an absolute horror story for him. Xander found a massive head now, he says. I'm sorry for watering your ego a little bit there. I'll try not to gas you up as too much, but Sasa saying go Video Gamer. What's up, Nana? Oh, it's a different person. Different Brian. But Sasa in the comments saying go Video Gamer. Obviously Video Gamer's taken the last 2 wins at Motive here for the GT3 class. So he's a man who's very much on form this season, and we'll be looking to see Video Gamer doing a good job here tonight. Can he make it 3 in a row? He's done a hat trick tonight, so it's definitely going to be would be an incredible job from him if he's able to make it 3 in a row. Obviously, with the absence of Cheese Monkey, the championship leader for the GT3s, he's not here tonight now, unfortunately. He's not here. No, he's not here. I just said he's not here. In fact, let's get the standings up. So Cheese Monkey does lead the championship on 106 points. Recco Vantage sits second on 101. So Recco Vantage, unless he has an absolute mare tonight, will take the championship lead.
Cheese Monkey is going to take the...
No, he is in the championship lead, but he's not here tonight, so he won't be leading after tonight. Unless, well, if Recco Vantage crashes out, then he might, but Recco Vantage goes P1 in the session. Let's just get rid of that so you can see what's going on the actual qualifying session. So Recco Vantage does the fastest time, 1.6 clear of PS Vids. But the big news tonight, that is the big news actually, is that Cheese Monkey is not here, could not make tonight, was a very late withdrawal from the race, and as such, I don't know, he didn't say, but as such, it will hand the initiative to Recco Vantage in this championship. Let's just get those standings up again on the screen. So Cheese Monkey leads by 5 points over Recco Vantage. PS Vids a little way behind in 3rd place, but if he gets a good result tonight, might be able to close the gap to Recco Vantage. Video Gamer, he can get another win tonight, could put Recco Vantage under pressure for the final round of the season. So watch this space. Xanafan has retired from the championship. Luck Morato, haven't seen him in God knows how long. Torde, 7th in the standings ahead of Just Dance, also one of the drivers who we haven't seen in a while. Grandad Steve sits in 9th. Yep, haven't seen him for a while either. Emo Guy, Perennial Reserve. Mad Max is here tonight. Jesus Cannon. Yep. Nope, haven't seen him for ages. But we've got a lot of reserves here tonight, which is great to see. So I want to say a very, very, very big Motive welcome to Mazda, racing in the GT3 class tonight. He races, I've actually raced Mazda quite a lot of times over at Simplay for their Project Cars 2 GT3 League on a Thursday, and he's very quick on Project Cars 2, and he seems to be pretty solid on ACC as well. All round solid sim racer is Mazda, very clean, very fair racer. Always good to have him, always a pleasure to welcome him onto the Motive Racing channel. So he's currently 3rd in this session, 1.4 off of Recco Vantage's fastest time. But currently Recco Vantage coming out at the final corner. Can he improve his lap a little bit here? He's coming up towards the line. Can he take time off of that 202.6? Here he comes up towards the line. Can he extend his advantage here? He comes over the line. He does improve by 1/10 of a second. So Recco Vantage there, absolutely knocking it out of the park once again. He's now got almost a second of a gap here to Mad Max. Mad Max has just been pipped there by PS Vids, so PS Vids moves himself up into 2nd place. And Video Gamer has just gone provisional pole. So there is the form that we've been seeing over the last couple of weeks. Video Gamer continuing that trend that we've seen over the race at Barcelona before, and obviously Nürburgring in the wet last time out. So Video Gamer absolutely flying once again, and he's going to be the favourite for the win at this point. Surely you would not bet against him on previous form. He's not a driver who seems to crack under the pressure. He seems to keep it cool, stay composed and deliver the goods. So Video Gamer at the moment looking to be the man to beat. Recco Vantage now with work to do. PS Vids pits from 3rd place. Is he going to get back out in time to do another lap? We'll have to see. Mad Max comes over, doesn't improve on his fastest lap, as we got Mazda now just coming through the final couple of corners here into the chicane. Currently P5 in this session. He's just got this left to go, and then the flat out right. It's not really too much of a corner. You've just got to navigate it really. But Mazda flat scat here as he comes around the final corner and out onto the start finish straight in the number 7 Bentley. What can Mazda put on the board here? Here he comes over the line, doesn't improve, stays in P5 for now. Ruster, Rebel and Stones, big warm welcome to those two guys as well, racing tonight in the multi-class for the first time, and we've seen both of them actually racing in the PS5 GT3 Championship on a Sunday night, but tonight they're making their returns to the PS4 version of ACC. Obviously the multi-class run on the PS4 version, so this is the cross-play version where PS4 and PS5 can play together. Obviously the one we run on Sunday that these two racing is PS5 exclusive, but aside from the drop in frame rate, it's more or less the same game. So maybe it's a bit of a struggle to readapt once you've got used to such a smooth gameplay, but obviously it takes some getting used to. But Torde coming back out onto the track, he's a bit late to the party though. He's not going to get round in time to do another lap, so he's kind of timed that one a little bit off. Video Gamer coming in towards the final few corners. Can he extend his advantage at the top of the leaderboard? Here he comes, tags the curve at it. No, he's backing out of it. He's backing off and going for another run by the looks of it. So he's just getting a bit more of a gap, I think, ahead of him. He's going to go for one more run here at the end of this session. Can he rub salt in the wounds of his opponents here? Reco Vantage still in second as he's coming through the first sector, coming up through out of the S's in towards the middle sector of the lap. You've got PS Fids coming through up towards 130R. Mazda coming on the exit of Spoon. So we're going to stay with PS Fids for the time being, as he's got literally just this final chicane to go. Currently P3. Can he gain a little bit of time on Reco? Can he put himself on the front row provisionally here in this qualifying session? We've got somebody just up ahead of him coming through the final part of that. That's Stones there, just coming through out onto the start finish. Let's ride with Stones here as he comes up towards the line. What can he do here? Stones comes across and he improves, but not by enough to be a factor in this one. PS Fids over the line, stays in P3, so he can't improve either. And Mazda up towards the line. Can he improve on P5? Here he comes. No, stays in 5th place. So that is that so far then for Mazda, as Video Gamer pits from P1 in this session. Reco Vantage coming out of Spoon at the moment. He's got just this lap to go. This will be his final run of the session. Only got 4 tenths to find on Video Gamer. Reco Vantage in a position where he's probably going to take the championship lead tonight, barring any major catastrophes. As long as he doesn't DNF, he will be P1 man in the championship after tonight, unless he gets outscored massively by PS Fids or Video Gamer, to be fair. But here he comes anyway, in towards the final chicane, taking the curves a little bit, being a little bit aggressive there as he comes out onto the start finish straight now. Reco Vantage second in the championship, 5 points drift to Cheese Monkey, will take the championship lead with the absence of Cheese Monkey. Up towards the line he comes. Reco Vantage doesn't improve, stays in second place. That looks like that's going to be that then for the session. So it's going to be Video Gamer starting this one on pole position for round 5, the penultimate round of the multi-class in the GT3 class. Reco Vantage will line up alongside him on the front row, only 4 tenths separating those two in the session. PS Vids will line up in 3rd place with Mad Max in 4th, followed by Mazda 5th. Rust the Rebel will line up 6th ahead of Stones in 7th. Torde will start in 8th place ahead of Ryan, and then that's it for the GT3 class. The GT4s be Ryan on pole ahead of Kodalungu with John Jig in 3rd. Duke Martin 4th, King Quinn 5th, followed by Tribe Racing in 6th. Pete Bibb in 7th, Nilsson in 8th, and Snooky will be rounding out the GT4 grid in 9th position. Mazda's duplicate there at the back will not be in the Merc, he will be in the Bentley. And he'll be starting from P5, not P18. So that is that then for the session, guys. Please do drop a like on the video if you're enjoying the stream at the moment. Let us know in the comments who you think is going to be your pick for this one. I'm going to go a little bit out of the box here. I know I usually go for Video Gamer because he's on pole, but I just have a funny feeling tonight that Reco Vantage is going to be in a good position. I reckon that he's going to be tired of seeing Video Gamer at the top of that leaderboard. I reckon this is Reco Vantage's week this week. I reckon this is going to be his chance to take the bull by the horns in this championship. Trailing Cheese Monkey by 5 points, but he'll be wanting to propel himself into the lead coming into the final round next week. So my pick for this one's Reco Vantage. I think he's got the GT3 class win. Ryan is going to be my pick for the GT4s, but do not count out COD or John Jig. I'll just say that. It's going to be an exciting race here. 1 hour off Suzuka for the 5th round of the season, and plenty of comments coming in here tonight. Come on, Max, I've seen you do 201s before. Wow, that's pretty damn quick there, I've got to say. Wait, I've missed so many comments here. Go Video Gamer said so, that's where we came back last time. Guitar Rich, around all the time. Yes, John Jig and Pete Bibb, good luck to them. Hi, Nana said Lightblade. She's gone out of the room now. Oh, I should have been there when you guys were all saying hello to her. Xander Flander says hello, Nana. Guitar Rich, hey Nana, hope you're well. Give her a mic, Andy. Simplay Motorsport, let's go, our very own Mazda. Good to see Simplay in the comments. Race there on Thursday nights for the Project Cars 2 GT3 Pro Series. We'll be back in that one next season, hoping to finally win that championship. Came second in the last 2 seasons to unorthodox. But we've had great battles over the course of the last 2 seasons. I'm absolutely stoked for the start of that season. a lot of tracks that I think are going to suit my BMW this season. Aside from Daytona and Monza, all of the tracks are going to be right up my street, so I am very much looking forward to that. Good to see Simplay in the comments. I've always seen there's Port 4 Mazda in the comments there. High grade, come on, we saw that one coming, Max. Hope you've seen you can do a 201. I love the NSX, best car, but got to cheer on my boy, says Simplay Motorsport. I believe that's Matahimovic there in the comments, head of Simplay Motorsport. As we got Xander Fander there saying video gamer a cut above the rest. Yes first, said Sasa. Very happy about that one. Xander Fander, video gamer, probably has another second up his sleeve at least. I don't know. I wouldn't say. I mean, we're going to have to find out, obviously. But Recco Vantage, I think, has got the pace to bring this fight to him. I would not rule him out at all. Smash the like button, says Lightblade. Absolutely, couldn't agree more on that one. He will drive off and dominate lights to flag, said Xander Fander. I don't know. I reckon Recco might have such a trick up his sleeve. Can't look past video on Ryan, says Xander Fander. He disagrees with me there very much, but Ryan for another drive-through. Oh, poor Ryan. He loves a drive-through. He can't get enough of them. He can't help himself. Hope patience is implemented first corner tonight. Yeah, it's a tricky first corner here at Suzuka. You feel like you can actually take a lot more speed into it than you think, because it is a hairpin, but it's quite an elongated hairpin, and the first part you can actually go charging in, and it's easy to run someone wide or to tag someone in the back, as we all remember. Well, we don't remember because I wasn't born, but we've all seen the video of Ayrton Senna taking out Alain Prost going into the first corner. 1990 Formula 1 penultimate round of the season. Senna knew he had to take Prost out and he would be too far ahead going into the last round of the season, and he walloped him in the back, and that was that. But similarly, Pro Xander did 2-minute flat in the Bentley with broken pedals. Ooh, fair play. And Breeze, says Lightblade. Yes, indeed. Oh, don't worry, I've got plenty of air in these lungs. I'm good to go for another hour. Don't you worry about me. But here we are, getting ready to go for the formation lap, guys. And once again, I'd say please do drop a like on the video, guys, as it does help us out an enormous amount. It helps us out more than you know. So please do, if you can. And share this with your friends and family, and otherwise associates, those who enjoy motorsport, sim racing, whatever. Share it around, get them to check us out. If you know anybody who races on PlayStation who wants to get involved in some organised sim racing, who's fed up of getting crashed out in online servers and whatnot, then send us our way, www.motiveracing.com. Click the tab at the top of the screen, or if you're on a mobile, click the sign up for Assetto Corsa Competizione. It will redirect you to our partners, simlypro.com, and there we've got all of our tables, all of our lineups, all of the information in regards to the championships. You can sign up to races as a one-off if you want to. You don't have to sign up to the full championship. You can enter the next race in that championship, whichever championship you want to take part in. And you've got so many options. It's not about just committing to one championship. You can literally sign up to individual races that suit you on any given night. So guys, I would say if you want to get involved, please do go to www.motiveracing.com and get yourselves out on the track. But that being said, we got Xander Fander says can't help but give Ryan stick. To be fair, I think Ryan's used to it now. He knows that he's got a bit of a reputation for getting a drive-through or two throughout the course of a race. Not just drive-throughs either. I mean, he's partial to a good old stop-go penalty as well here and there. The old speeding in the pit lane chestnut, that one seems to always thwart him as well. So, Ryan, I'm sorry. But, yeah, he'll be hoping and praying that doesn't come back to bite him tonight, that's for sure. But here we are anyway, guys. We're just coming round the hairpin, so we're about halfway around the lap, and we're getting ready to go green for the penultimate round of the GT3, GT4 multi-class series here on ACC Emotive on the PlayStation 4 platform. Noticing Nilsson actually failed to ready up at the start of this race, so he will be starting this one from the back. He's got a lot of work to do here in this one, so he's got a long way to go. Can he bring himself up the order? Can he be a factor in this race? He's definitely going to be up against it, that is for sure, as we come in out of Spoon. So we've literally just got a couple of corners to go until the start of this race. Mad Max has got a few supporters in the comments, but Video Gamer, the consent. Oh, what's happened here? What has happened here? Number 7, Mazda. What has happened to Mazda? Oh no. Simplay Motorsport, are you watching? Oh no. What is going on here? Well, I have to say that's not a very characteristic mistake there for Mazda, but he's going to have to regain his position here. Has he got enough? Has he got enough track to get himself back into place? As he's now bringing himself back through, but that's going to be a bit of pain there for Mazda as he brings himself back up the front of the pack. But Video Gamer will be starting this one on pole on the left-hand side of your screen. Recco Vantage on the right will be looking to try and get the jump on him. PS Fit and Mad Max behind them. Mazda Rust the Rebel followed by Stones Vitorde. Ryan Ruby leading the GT4 class with Kodalungu, John Jig, Duke Martin behind him. King Quinn, Tribe Racing, Pete and Snooky rounding out the field with Nilsson in the pits. Simplay Motorsport, what has he done there? He's not our driver. Poor Mazda. We've got Joe in the comments saying, good evening all, welcome Joe, I'm the reigning champion of our Formula 1 league there in the comments. Also son of Raki, one of our biggest fans here at Motive. Unfortunately Raki couldn't join us tonight, has some guests around the house, so he couldn't get out on the track. But here we are then, up towards the line, we're getting ready to go green for the penultimate round of the multi-class series, and it is now green. We are racing here. Video Gamer up towards turn 1, looks like he's going to hold on here ahead of Recco Vantage. Recco Vantage looking around the outside here, is going to be tight between these two, but Video Gamer holds on to that lead here coming through the first corner. Looks like we've got a bit of a scuffle going on just here. So was that Tribe Racing there getting a bit out of shape coming through turn 1. Nonetheless, we're all very cleanly through the first couple of corners. Video Gamer leads the race ahead of Recco Vantage. PS Fit in third place ahead of Mad Max. Not really too many position changes right now. It's kind of just stayed the same really. Everybody line astern at this point, and a very, very tidy first few corners. What's happened here is that Nilsson? No, it's not Nilsson. Somebody's dropped off at the back of the pack a little bit. Was it Tribe? No, it's not Tribe. Somebody's dropped off the back of the pack and fallen away a little bit at the start of this one. That was, yeah, it is Nilsson there, so Nilsson losing the rest of them a little bit there, but it's currently Video Gamer leading the race, coming out of Degna 2 for the first time. Recco Vantage still on the back of him, still hasn't dropped off of him, so the prediction there is Xander Thunder that Video Gamer will break away, not materialising so far, but we're only half a lap into the race, still plenty of time. Mad Max is on the back of Mazda here, coming into the hairpin. Has he managed to get that one done? No, Mazda defending that one off for the time being, and Mazda has actually got himself ahead of Mad Max there, so he's got himself into fourth place. Good driving here from Mazda at the start of this one, solid driving there at the beginning, as we've got Video Gamer still leading ahead of Recco Vantage. PS Fit in third place right now. Mazda there in fourth has got Mad Max looking to try and come back at him coming into Spoon, but for the time being he's got that one under control. Rust the Rebel Stones. Ryan leading the GT4 class ahead of Torday in the GT3s. Will be wanting to get himself ahead of, he has got ahead of Ryan, so Torday's now ahead of him. Ryan leads the GT4 class right now. Kodlinger in second, John Jig third. There's Duke Martin, but John Jig there currently doing a good job right now, the championship leader in the GT4 class, who just needs to make sure he's within a few points of Ryan Ruby. He'd only lose, I think, 7 points as it stands in this race if he were to finish in third, so he just needs to get a couple of third places this in the last 2 races as John Jig, and he will have this GT4 crown. Ryan needs to just go out there, drive the wheels off of that Audi and just take the wins in both rounds. But right now, back at the front for the GT3 classes, Video Gamer and Recco Vantage still separated by not much at all. PS Vids is going with them as well, so Video Gamer not having this all his own way so far. Mazda still fending off Mad Max in the battle for 4th and 5th places. Rust the Rebel ahead of Stones. There's Torday running 8th place for the GT3s, and then the GT4s, you've got Ryan has managed to gap Kodalungu by 1.3 seconds. There's John Jig in third ahead of Duke Martin, Tribe Racing, King Quinn, Pete Bib, Snooky and Nilsson a long way behind with that pit lane start from him. But it's all go at the start of this race. Mad Max still trying to pressure Mazda. Only half a second between these two as they completed the first lap. Mad Max will be wanting to get back onto him as soon as he possibly can. But it looks like Mazda's more than a match for him at this point. Stones there running in 7th place. He's on the back of Rust the Rebel. These two couple of seconds behind Mazda and Mad Max, but they're battling it out. Currently these two late standing reserves for tonight. Back to the GT4 class, Duke Martin on the back of John Jig, but Tribe Racing trying to get this move done on Duke Martin here as we're coming up towards Degna 1 here on that 2 of the race. But Duke Martin currently standing his ground here ahead of Tribe Racing for the time being. Mad Max still pressuring Mazda here for 4th place. These two going at it here. They've been going at it since the start of the race. Mazda managed to get ahead of Mad Max in the early laps of the race. Go Mazda, go! Got to redeem yourself now, says Simplay Motorsport. Give him a few laps, says Xander Vander, in regards to, I think, Video Gamer, who is now, as he say that, he's now started to open up a bit on Reco Vantage. The gap now 1.1, so Video Gamer starting to get into a groove. And Xander Vander's prediction, maybe, just maybe, you might be right on that one earlier on, mate, because he is starting to build up a bit of a gap. But Mad Max looking to the inside into 130R on Mazda. No opportunities there. It's flat out. You're not going to be able to get the move done there. Is he going to try and send one into the chicane? No, he's too far back. That Bentley's got too much grip coming through 130R. Mad Max, to be fair, in the NSX, it's not an easy car at all down the straight. It's slow as it's not quick down the straights. It's good through the corners. It's very quick actually through the first sector. It should be really good. But Mad Max looking to the inside on Mazda in towards turn 1. Mazda holds his ground for the time being. This is the part of the track where you'd expect the NSX to have the grip over the Bentley, but I think that it's just the track is too narrow, it's too twisty, and the Bentley is no slouch through these corners. That's the thing. It's a monster of a car. You look at it, you think, oh, this is going to be terrible through these twisty bits, but it's not. It's actually planted as anything. Those who play ACC will know what I mean. It's completely counterintuitive, but it's actually a really good car through the corners. And you can see here, Mazda has got the answer to Mad Max at the moment. Mad Max just not able to really do anything with him. Tribe Racing running in 12th place. He's not been able to do anything with Duke Martin. Duke Martin, if anything, has actually gapped him a little bit, although these two have got Kinquin hot on their heels now. John Jig started to break away a bit from Duke, Tribe and Kinquin at this point. Ryan's pulling away from Cod, the gap 2 seconds at the front of the GT4 pack. Ryan leading Cod by 2.4, John Jig in third, about a second adrift of Codlingu. There's that battle between Duke, Tribe and Kinquin that we were talking about. These two battling it out over 4th, 5th and 6th in class. Pete Bibb in 7th ahead of Tanuki in 8th. Nilsson in 9th, and Torde, who is in the GT3 class, is running back of the pack. So he's obviously made a couple of mistakes here, which has dropped him down the order. But Mad Max running in 5th place right now, coming into Spoon. Still can't get anything done with Mazda, and we've said it before, the NSX struggles down the straights. Don't you say a bad word about the Honda. I'm sorry, Matt, but it's good through the corners. No, it's solid through the corners, as you know. I mean, you won a championship in the Pro-Am last season. You know, I'm not knocking it, but well, I am knocking it, but but no, it's a good car. It has its pros, it has its strengths, but I think the Bentley's definitely the more complete package here, as Mazda's finding out here. He's got every answer at the moment to Mad Max. These two, though, dropping off at the back of the top 3 a little bit. They're falling away from the podium spots. 7 seconds now is the gap that these two have got up ahead to the podium spots. So these two, while they battle it out, are knocking time off of each other and preventing each other from closing in on those guys up ahead. Tribe Racing running in 12th place right now. He's 8 tenths behind Duke Martin, yeah, still can't get anything done in that particular instance. Video Gamer leads the race by 2.4 ahead of Reco Vantage. PS Vids there running in that final podium spot. But a lot of battles going on, but not really too much action at this point. It's kind of everybody's just sticking in the positions at the moment. Oh, it's Tribe very wide there through turn 1. That would have lost him a bit of momentum as it's coming through that part of the track, and that's given Duke Martin a little bit more breathing space there. But Tribe, Kinquin, Pete Bibb dropping off at the back of these guys a little bit. Pete Bibb took his first win in the GT4 cast last week here at Motive, but this time out, no such joy here for him. He's got Tanuki on the back of him. Torde's got ahead of Nilsson into P16 overall, but Torde obviously in the GT3 class. Nilsson racing in the GT4s. Nilsson's closed the gap a little bit to Pete Bibb and Tanuki, and I think actually he's gained on pretty much everybody except Ryan, Cod and John Jig. So, or in fact, he might have even gained on Cod and John Jig, to be fair. Nilsson seems to be getting some pretty decent laps in. I think he's closing in on most of the GT4 pack, so his pit lane start, hopefully for him, won't cause him too many problems. He'd probably lose about 15-20 seconds by starting in the pits, and he's about, what is he? He's about 25 seconds off of the lead, so all in all, I'd say Nilsson's had some pretty strong pace here. So yeah, if he can keep that up, who knows where he will get to here But Tribe Racing still on the back of Duke Martin. In terms of the rest of the battles right now, it's Video Gamer leading the race by 3 seconds right now ahead of Reco Vantage. So Video Gamer just controlling things out the front. He's got things under control right now. 4 laps into the race, he's been steadily increasing the gap by about 0.7, 0.8 of a second. Reco Vantage is just keeping it consistent at the moment. PS Vid's in 3rd place, couple of seconds behind Reco Vantage. Then you got a further 7 seconds back to this battle, which is still continuing to rage on between Mazda and Mad Max, but still no way round for Mad Max to get himself into 4th place. King Quinn is now on the back of Tribe, and Duke Martin's managed to gap these two a little bit. So Duke Martin, running P4 in class, is now getting into a bit of a groove here and is putting out the gap to Tribe and King Quinn. Mad Max still very close on the back of Mazda, but no opportunities presenting themselves thus far here at Suzuka for the penultimate round of the multi-class series. Thanks everybody for joining us right now. 11 of you currently watching the stream. Hit that like button, guys, if you haven't already. It helps us out more than you can ever know. It really, really does. Every single like counts, and the more likes we get, the more it shows that we're doing the right thing and tells us that we're doing the right thing. And if you think we're not doing the right thing, I wouldn't say drop the... Oh no, Mazda's gone wide, sorry. Just gonna go off topic there, as Mazda there has lost it, got a little bit wide there coming through that part of the track, and Mad Max has swooped up the inside. In fact, no, he hasn't. Mazda's got back ahead of him, so wow. Those two trading positions there, as I was just going off on a tangent there. So Mad Max got ahead of Mazda, and then Mazda returned the favour straight back on him, got the cut back there coming out of the hairpin. So those two still running as they were. Intriguing battle between these two. Yeah, I was saying, if you don't like what we're doing, I wouldn't say drop a dislike, but I would say let us know what we can improve on. If there's anything that you think we could do better here, maybe get a better commentator, or maybe get somebody who's better at using OBS. You know, any of these suggestions that you might have, then feel free to chime them in. But right now, Mazda and Mad Max separated by a couple of tenths here as they're coming out of the last corner to complete lap 5 of the race. John Jig's now closed onto Codalunga. This is for 2nd place in class for the GT4s, and John Jig seems to be now getting some pace here. Cod's very wide there on the exit of the spoon, so that's going to cost him a little bit of momentum coming out onto this long straight towards 130R. One man who's going pretty well at the moment, and big shout out to him, is Duke Martin. He's gapped Tribe and King Quinn by a bit. He's got a couple of seconds back to them now. We said earlier on he's starting to pull away from them, but Duke Martin here, he's only a couple of seconds off of P2 man Codalunga, who's got John Jig in the back of him. So if these two start pressuring each other a little bit, start distracting each other and concerning one another with their driving, then Duke Martin's going to be there. And I'll tell you what, Duke Martin, he's a very quick driver in the wet. In the dry conditions, we haven't seen this kind of prominence from Duke Martin, but right now he's really doing a very impressive job right now. High grade saying in the comments, Lady comment, what? Lady comment, what? 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 Are you mad? Santa Thunder saying, go John, PT would be massive for the title charge. Oh wait, no, I get what you mean. No, I get what you mean. I get what you mean. I tell you what. Oh, high grade, I thought you were calling me a lady commentator there. Sorry, I do apologise. Sorry, I read that one completely wrong. I just saw red there when I read that. No, I know what you mean now. I mean, we could. I think. I don't know. If any female commentators are watching this who want to do some comms, take over from me, let me have some races, then High Grade's the man who's making the suggestion. Can you make it happen? Let us know. We got Guitar Rich, 2 extra likes from my other channels. You're a legend. You're an absolute legend. Thank you very much. As we can see, John Jig now looming large in the rearview mirrors of Codalunga. Duke Martin has now pulled up pretty much within a second of these two right now. Into spoon they come. Cod, though, facing heavy pressure from those behind him, who are now reeling him in at quite a rate. So the gap at the front between Video Gamer and Reco, 3 seconds. nearly 4 seconds now, but the gap's not going up as much, so Reko's now starting to pick up the pace a little bit. 3 seconds back to PS5, 7 seconds covers the top 3 after 6 laps of this race, but the battle in the GT4s is the one that we want to watch here, because at the moment Ryan's got a bit of a gap to second place man Cod, but Cod has got heavy pressure from Jonjig, Duke Martin, Tribe. These 4 drivers battling over second, third, fourth and fifth, separated by about 3 seconds here. Guitar Rich, Andy in a dress. No, indeed no, definitely no. It's a no from me, I'm afraid. Sorry to disappoint, but it's not happening. Xander Van Lerk, Battle 4 P2. Yep, we're on it. Don't worry. I'm not missing any more of the action. I'm not going to be going off on a tangent or getting otherwise preoccupied anymore. I'm going to be focusing very much on this battle, which continues to rage on between Codling, Jonjig, Duke Martin, with Tribe not too far away. Pete Bibb 4/10 off of Kinquin. These two fighting it out over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th place in the GT4 car, 6th and 7th at the moment, these two. Yeah, these two currently Codlingu and Jonjig also pretty close, and Duke Martin is looming larger in these guys' mirrors. Now Duke Martin, I'm sure, is going to be waiting patiently here. He's not going to be looking to go absolutely hammer time at this point. I think he's just going to wait and try and pick him off if he can. He's going to wait for the mistake potentially between these two if it comes. Codlingu is dropping off at the pace of Ryan by quite a lot, and Jonjig looks like he's being held up at this point. As Cod very wide there out of hairpin. Oh, he might have had to just get out of it a bit there to avoid getting an awkward exit. But these 3 guys currently, Cod, Jonjig and Duke Martin, have pulled out a bit of a gap to Tribe Racing. Tribe's now dropped out of that battle a little bit. Pete Bibb still on the back of Kinquin. These two still fighting out over 6th and 7th in the GT4 class. This is an exciting battle here. Also, I want to say a big thank you to everybody watching the stream currently. 15 likes on the stream, guys. This is awesome. I love this. Loving it. I'm loving it. Keep them coming. Can we get the stream to 20 likes before we get off there? And that would be absolutely sick if we can do that. Please, guys, if you know anybody who enjoys sim racing on the PlayStation or sim racing in general, who might like what they're watching or might like what you're watching right now, then please do share this around and get it out there. But Torday in the GT3 class has picked up another GT4 car in Snooki, and Torday now getting himself onto the back of this GT4 train here of Cod, Jonjig, Duke, Tribe and Kinquin. Actually Kinquin and Pete are a little way off, so Torday's next victims will be Kinquin and Pete Bibb. You'd imagine they'll be sitting ducks with the fact they're GT4 cars, but Torday made a couple of mistakes over the course of tonight, so he's got work to do. But Codlingu running in P2 has actually managed to gap Jonjig a little bit over the last lap or so. So Cod starting to respond a little bit now to the pressure behind him. He's picked himself up after getting into a bit of a rut. He's now kind of just got himself out of that, and Jonjig now, although having said that, Jonjig's closed a little bit through this first sector. Xanafana, maybe John shouldn't fight Duke. Might be better off letting him past. Yeah, but it's over a podium spot, Xander. That's the thing. It's over a podium spot, and any points in the championship could be points lost because Ryan leading the race. It's looking like Ryan's going to win, unless he has an absolute, complete and utter meltdown in this race. He should have this one in the bag. Although, you know, never say never, but I don't think that Ryan's going to mess this one up. Like, even if he were to get a drive through, he'd probably still win at this rate. He just needs to make sure he doesn't get a stop-go penalty. That's the next step. Long game, says Sander, in relation, I think, to Duke Martin here, who's on the back of Cod and Jonjig. Also, Alex Jacob in the comments saying, it's me, Lexi, mate. Welcome along, mate. Good to see you. Hi, guys, he says. Lexi, mate, races with us on the GT3s on the PS5 on a Sunday night. He's part of our 30-man grid for that one. And good to see you in the comments tonight, mate. As always, we've got Guitar Rich says John could do without the fight, but position important. It is. The thing is, I wonder what Duke Martin's going to do in this situation. Obviously, he's aware that Jonjig is in that championship fight. Does he put pressure on him, knowing what's at stake in front of him? Does Jonjig try and put the pressure on Cod? Because he has been behind him for a while now, but Cod seems to have an answer to it. Oh no, as I say that, Cod's gone wide. Cod's onto the grass. Commentator's curse has struck again here at Suzuka. It's never too far away from striking the driver. Just as I start saying, oh, he'll be alright, he just absolutely stacks it. And Codalungu loses a couple of positions. He moves down to 4th place in the GT4 class, and John Jig suddenly in 2nd place in class, in a really good position here in this race. Ryan will be looking at that and probably will be absolutely incandescent with rage, seeing that John Jig is now running in P2, because he knows that whatever he does, John Jig just has to really stay where he is, and John Jig can just be consistent over the course of the last couple of rounds. So now Ryan's going to be sat there thinking, what am I supposed to do? I'm leading by 11 seconds and still not winning this championship. Outrageous. Are those drive-throughs and stop-goes going to come back to bite him on the bottom by the time we get to the end of the race next week? Next round of the season for the multi-class will be obviously the final round next week. So we're getting towards the business end of this season. And I'm just trying to long out my talking here so I can get up where we're racing next week. Bathurst. Final race of the season will be at Bathurst. Bit of deja vu. First ever GT4 season we had at Motive. The last race was Bathurst. I was actually, if you think that you saw me racing in that, I must assure you that you did not. That wasn't actually me. That was an imposter. However, John Jig's still running in P2 right now. He's got Duke Martin on the back of him. Duke into a podium spot at this point. Simplay Motorsport, what's the ruling on blue flags? You don't have to get out of the way, but if you crash someone out when they're trying to lap you, and it could have been avoidable, then we're going to take the side of the overtaking car. That's really the gist of it. You don't have to yield, but if you cause any problems whilst being lapped, then that's going to be like a smoking gun. High grade, I'll try and join the last join for the last race in the GT4. You get to have your high grade as long as you've still got the PS4 version downloaded on your PS5. You're more than welcome to jump in for the final race of the season. The more the merrier. As we can see here, Cod now looking to make the move on Duke Martin into turn 1. He's going to make that one stick there. Duke Martin sees him coming, and good conscientious driving there from Duke Martin. Did not make that too difficult there. And Codalungu back up into the podium spots and can now try and chase down John Jig. And it's definitely within Codalungu's incentive to get onto the back of John Jig and push him down a position, because obviously Codalungu is a teammate of Ryan Ruby in the Run DJC stable, not teammates in this championship, but they're both part of the Run DJC stable. And if Cod can get himself ahead of John Jig, he can take points off of John Jig and help Ryan in his championship push. So any points taken off of John Jig will help Ryan, and Cod will know that. Cod will be being probably given the orders in the Run DJC party chat now, saying, come on mate, you need to get after him, get ahead of him, make sure that John Jig loses as many points as he can. But John Jig currently doing a really, really superb job tonight. He's just keeping it calm and composed, not getting ahead of himself. He doesn't mind, doesn't matter that he's 12 seconds behind Ryan. If he gets track position, as long as he finishes in 2nd place, he's good. He's all right. He can continue that momentum. I think if he finishes 2nd this week, John Jig, all he will need next week is a 3rd place, regardless of what Ryan does. All he'll need is 3rd place next week. So John Jig certainly in a good position in terms of the championship at this point, but Ryan Ruby doing the business right now, out in front, absolutely dominating this race in the GT4 class so far. As Torde's got ahead of Pete Bibb into P14 overall, and it looks like he's actually got ahead of King Quinn. Oh no, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. He's actually just yeah, I don't know. But gap between John Jig and Codalungu coming down a little bit. It says 1.6 on the screen. It looks like it's about 1.3 between them now. That's come down a little bit. We'll obviously see by the time they come around here. Yeah, that's about 1.2, 1.3 seconds now. It's a bit less than 1.6. Or maybe it's gone up a bit actually there. Oh, I don't know. That's about 1.5 seconds. I'd say it's gone down about a tenth. No, it's stayed the same. stayed the same. So John Jig and Cod staying at around 1.6 seconds for the time being. Duke Martin there running in fourth. Tribe there has got King Quinn. No, he hasn't. That's actually Recco Vantage. Recco Vantage there just putting a lap there on these guys. Also the race leader, the GT3 class leader, Video Gamer, has just lapped the GT4 pack. But Recco Vantage also making his way through. 4 seconds now separating Video Gamer and Recco Vantage. And we've seen this before. A Video Gamer takes a lot of grip out of his tyres in the first stint. We've seen this a few times. He does tend to go quite ham in the first part of the race, and then towards the end of the first stint you'll see the Video Gamer's gap just doesn't come down, or it does come down a little bit. It stops extending by as much, although maybe it's traffic. It could be traffic. Maybe it is traffic that's causing his gap to just stagnate a little bit. But oh no, careful there in the background. Oh my gosh, Video Gamer there almost coming to blows there with Cod. Was it Cod? So Video Gamer there very nearly coming together with Cod Lungu as he gets ahead of both Duke Martin and Cod Lungu. I tell you what, that was a hairy situation. Oh no, you don't want to be doing that. Oh dear. Video Gamer gets through that one unscathed. What's the gap to Recco Vantage now? 4 seconds as Recco's now putting a lap here on some more of the GT4 runners here. Spring lap there on Tribe Racing. Recco Vantage continuing to come through, and he's managed to get through that section of the traffic, but the gap's now 7 seconds, so it's actually gone up. So Video Gamer got a little bit held up, but Recco Vantage even more so, and he's now got PS Vids all over the back of him here. Cod Lungu is now, he's still on the back of Duke Martin, so Duke Martin's got ahead of Cod in all of that palaver going on behind them. And that's now Duke into P3 once again in the GT4 class, but Cod there losing out.
Pit window is opening.
Pit window open this time, so drivers can come in and get their mandatory pit stops done. Tornado the first to come in, and so is Snooky, so these two both coming in at the first time of asking to get that pit stop done. In the early part of the pit window, obviously it's a 10-minute pit window, so you can long it out, you can stay out pretty much up until the end of the pit window, but you want to try and get it done soon so you're not risking it, because if you say go past the pits with 2 minutes to go without realising, or you have a mind blank or whatnot, then it's like, oh hold on a second, you can't come in the next lap, that's it. So best off to just get it done. But Recco Vantage putting a lap on some of the back markers there, and PS Vids also coming through, but these two looking pretty close now. PS Vids has really managed to make gains on Recco Vantage over the course of this of the lapping of the traffic. Blue flags are out. They're not going to really make too much of a difference at this point, I don't think. The GT4 drivers are in a battle of their own. But in relation to Simplay and the blue flags, obviously with the multi-class, it's a difficult one. Blue flags in single class series, it's a little bit more clear cut. It's like really the done thing is to let people through. In the multi-class, they're all racing. The GT4 classes are all racing each other, so you can't really expect them to just leap out of the way. You kind of just got to be sensible about it. The GT3 drivers have got to be patient. It's like when you're behind a GT4 car going into a series of tight corners where there's no room to overtake. You just got to think to yourself, right, I've got a faster car, I'm going to pick them off on the straight. You just got to wait a moment, keep calm, not get ahead of yourself. That's really the key, but there's not really any strict rulings saying you have to get out of the way. Snooky has picked up a stop-go penalty. Snooky has been done for speeding in the pit lane, and he's picked up a stop-go penalty, so he's going to have to come back into the pits. So his punishment for driving dangerously in the pits is to drive through the pits once again. Video Gamer now into the box, as is Recco Vantage. And PS Vids leading the race with those two coming into the pits. Mazda will move up into second place for the time being. He's gap Mad Max a little bit as Mazda. We've neglected that battle because it's been extending over the last few laps. Mazda's been actually a bit quicker than Mad Max over the last few laps. But Mazda looking like he's got the better of him in that battle for fourth. Mazda not a million miles off of the podium spots. He's 12 seconds behind PS Vids, who's running in third place, and net third place, should I say. He's in the lead at the moment with Video Gamer and Recco both in the pits. Duke Martin has got Cod all over the back of him here. These two battling out over third place in the GT4 class. Pete Bibb in the pits, as is Torde. And we can just see Mad Max there putting a lap on one of the GT4 cars there then. So race settling down a little bit now. Not Duke's fight in relation to Xander, very disappointed in Duke Martin when he obviously let Cod through, but Duke has since got back ahead of Cod and he seems to be standing his ground now, so Xander will be pleased to see that one. A lot of this with the GT3 multicast is just how the cards fall where you meet the GT4. Indeed, yeah, you can lose time, because if you meet the GT4 cars in a load of twisty corners, then it's going to be a ball ache for you. If you happen to come up on them down a straight, that's the ideal situation. It's a bit like the VSC in F1. That being a GT4 car and a GT3 is very similar to the virtual safety car. It can hit you at the right moment, or you can get absolutely screwed over, but all in all you only lose 1 or 2 seconds. It's not a major swing, and over the course of a 1 hour race it's probably going to even itself out. But you know, you take some, you lose some. Ultimately it's like it's going to balance out over the course of a race or a season. But we see PS Vids into the pits, as is John Jig and Duke Martin, and Mazda as well, all coming into the pits here at the halfway point in the race. Xander multi-class Bathurst is going to be run. Multi-class gonna Mad Max having a better one, says JR. Absolutely, he's driving a good race this week. Net P5, we believe, once all is said and done with the pits. Xander saying approaching a GT4 going down a mountain. Yeah, it's going to be a bit hairy. Let's go Ryan Cod. He says Ryan doing a great job tonight, and Cod as well, 1 and 2 for Run DJC. But it's actually John Jig who's a net P2 in this race. He will come out ahead of Cod, or at least he was ahead of him before the pits, so we're expecting him to come out ahead of Cod. He should come out theoretically in P2 in class ahead of Cod Lungu. So before the pits it was Ryan, John Jig, Cod, Duke. Oh no, actually Cod was behind Duke Martin as well, so Cod could come out in 4th place. Duke Martin was P3 before we came in, but nonetheless we see John Jig returning to the track. Duke Martin about 7 or 8 seconds behind him on the track, I reckon. And what's happened here? Mazda's got a drive-through. Oh no, Mazda's picked up a drive-through penalty. What a shame for Mazda, I think. Ooh, I don't know what that was for. Could it be for a... You don't get a drive-through for speeding in the pits. Speeding in the pits is a stop-go, I'm pretty sure. So I think that Mazda must have got done for track limits. Maybe pit exit line. Possibly pit exit line there for Mazda, because it's a drive-through penalty, as I said before. When you speed in the pit lane, it's always a stop-go penalty. That's the standard punishment for speeding in the pits. So I reckon he's got done for crossing the pit exit line there, but Mazda is going to have to come in again. Ryan Cod and Tribe of the GT4 class still yet to pit. Mad Max, Ruster and Stones of the GT3s also have got to come in. Torde of the GT3 class, I've seen him in the pits, but he must have not put fuel in. As Cod of the GT4 class comes in, and Tribe follows him in there as well. So Ryan, the sole runner of the GT4 class, still yet to come in. Mad Max, Ruster, Rebel and Stones of the GT3s need to come in sharpish. Mad Max is staying out for at least another lap. So is Ruster Rebel. Stones is coming in. So Mad Max, Ruster, Rebel and Ryan, Ruby and Torde. The 4 cars still yet to pit. Everybody else has been in this one. Is that your driver sim play? Says Xander Fander. Well, Mazda currently, he's done a good job tonight, to be fair, Mazda. You know, the pace has been there, and he's been he's managed to outpace Mad Max, and that's not easy because Mad Max is a quick driver. But it's unfortunate, obviously, with the drive-through penalty for Mazda. He'll need to come in, and he's coming in now at the first opportunity, so he's getting it done and out of the way. But yeah, it's unfortunate to see, obviously, because he was in a good position in the race. But it's one of those things, I suppose, that pit exit line, it can be, it's just a massive kick in the teeth, really, isn't it? That's all that can be said for it. Mazda actually has come out just behind Stone, so these two now can battle over 6th place. So Mazda's come out with somebody who he can battle with, but I think he might dispatch him quite quickly here. I wouldn't imagine he's going to spend too much time spent behind Stones. So Ryan's coming in at the last opportunity to make his pit stop now. Mad Max and Rust the Rebel will have to come in, but Mad Max has missed the pit entry. Mad Max has gone straight down the start-finish straight, and he's missed the pit entry, so Mad Max will get a penalty. He's missed a mandatory pit window. He's not going to be able to get in at the end of this lap, so Mad Max, lapse of concentration may be there from him, but he's missed his pit window, and that is going to be very frustrating there for him. Torday's still yet to come in as well. Does Torday come in at the end of this lap? Well, he's just coming through the first sector, so he's not going to get around either. So Mad Max and Torday have both missed their pit window, and even if they were to come in now, it's not going to do anything for them. If they were to come in and stop in the box, they might as well not bother, because it's not going to count as their pit stop. High grade there in the comments, facepalm there from him. He's not impressed by the antics of Mad Max there. He's been voicing his support in the comments. He's been getting behind his man, but that's not going to be what he would have expected from his friend there. Stone's back in the pits. Or was he already in the pits? Good evening all, part 2, says Raki. Welcome back, Raki, to the channel. Raki unfortunately couldn't join us tonight for this one. He wanted to join earlier on, but unfortunately he had guests, so he wasn't able to desert them for long enough to be able to take part tonight. But good to see you, Raki, back in the chat once again. Also saw Joram earlier on, son of Raki. Those two race on F1 on a Friday night in the Red Bull. They're the reigning Constructors Champions. Raki obviously half of that reigning Constructor Champion team in the Formula 1 League. Also races with us in the PS5 GT3 Championship on a Sunday as well. And also one of our stewards as well as our coordinators. So does a lot behind the scenes here at Motive with us. Visitors left a bit late. How very rude of them. How inconsiderate, as Mad Max is in the pit lane, so he's now getting that pit stop done, but it's too late. Too little too late for Mad Max. It's not going to count as a pit stop. Torday sensibly staying out and not bringing it in, because it's obviously not going to make any difference now. Didi, hello Raki, welcome. Hello Didi, good to see you. Joram says, Raki, did you already practice for Friday? I think it's going to be tricky, isn't it? Friday night, Motive Formula 1 League, guys, make sure you tune in. 6:45 PM BST, we'll be live for that one. Those two will be out on the track. Joram, the championship leader and the reigning champion, looking to try and become a 2-time champion of the Formula 1 League, is Joram. And there will be at where will we be? We'll be at Zandvoort. It's your home race, boys. It's your home race on Friday. That's going to be a big one. Two Dutch guys in the comments there, obviously father and son, Raki and Joram, are going to be racing at Zandvoort for their home race on Friday. That'll be exciting. Xander Vander, fight for P2 could be interesting. COD needs to do Ryan a favour here. I mean, he's 3.6 behind John Jig, so that could be on the cards. 2.5 between Rust the Rebel and Mazda, so Well, Mazda's got ahead of Stones. Stones came in for an extracurricular pit stop, an unexpected pit stop. High grade server's not up yet, is it, for the GT3's PS5? It should be. Is it not? Let's have a look. It should be. Yeah, the PS5 server should be up. Should be ready. Let's have a quick look. Settings. Oh no, it's still on. No, it's on Zolder, yeah. The PS5 server's on Zolder, so it's ready. PS5 server's on Zolder, so it's all ready to go. You can jump in there, you can get some practice done high grade if you want. 4 GT3, no, it's up. Joe, yes, that's why I asked if he practiced. You must know Zandvoort quite well. I mean, I know Silverstone like the back of my hand. I've raced Silverstone so many times. Like, it's probably my strongest track on F1, aside from probably actually barring none really, to be fair. Do love a bit of Silverstone, gotta say, can't get enough of that. No worries, high grade, no worries. So the gap coming down a bit between Ruster Rebel and Mazda. It's now pretty tight between these two, as Mazda's just putting a lap there on Duke Martin. But Mazda really tearing after Ruster Rebel at this point. Gap between Pete Bibb and King Quinn, 2.4. The gap between John Jig and Codlinga coming down as well, 3.3. The gap between these two in P2 and P3 in the GT4 class. Ryan has absolutely run off into the distance here tonight. Has not put a foot wrong here. He really needs COD to do him a favour though, as Xander Flander was saying in the comments. Let me just have a quick look at the standings to see how many points you get for a P1, 2 and 3. Should really know this, shouldn't I, but oh well. So you get 40 points for a win, 35 for second and 30 for third. So the gap's 16 points. So if Ryan were to take the win, and if Codlinga were to get ahead of John Jig, Ryan would gain 11 points. The gap would be 5 points going into next week, which would mean all Ryan would have to do would be to take the win and the pole next week. So if Cod were to get ahead of John Jig, it would be all of a sudden, it would be in Ryan's hands. He would have his own fate in his own hands. He would be in control of his own destiny. That's if Cod can get onto the back of John Jig. But John Jig's pulled away from Cod a little bit on this lap, so it's now 3.8 seconds between these two. So it's going back up a little bit between these two. John Jig's now got the pace, showing he has got the pace to stay in second place. Cod still got to really work hard for this one. So as it stands in this championship battle, Ryan will gain 6 points on John Jig. The gap would be 10 points going into the final race. So it would still be very much race on for the championship, but John Jig in a great position right now, just has to stay consistent, and it's been consistency that's got him where he is in this championship this season. John Jig's taken 2 P3s and 2 P2s this season, has not won a race this season, has just been always up there or thereabouts in every race, and he's got the position to show for it in the championship. And we've lost a driver. We have lost a driver. Who have we lost? We have lost Stones. Stones has left the session. What a shame there. Stones is out of the race. We got Lightblade says, I missed the old Silverstone track. Yeah, I must admit, I missed that part. I missed that section. I missed the old Abbey, the left-hander Abbey into Bridge. Oh, Bridge, what a corner that was. That was so cool. I'll tell you what, in modern F1 cars, man, Bridge corner would be sick. You had that corner, Bridge coming into Priory, and then Priory went into Brooklands. It was completely different. It was much better, I think. I mean, it was like back in the early days. The last couple of years of Silverstone on that layout was the first 2 years I started watching F1, and I must admit, driving on F1 games, the old Silverstone layout was a million times better than that horrid loop you got now. I mean, it's not the worst, but it's not as good as it was. They ruined it. It's better. I'd say it's probably. It was a real trap for the drivers, wasn't it? It was so easy to make a mistake through that section of the track, go a little bit wide, and you're in the gravel or on the grass. Now it's just a little bit processional through that part of the track. So Mazda's now got the gap down to 0.8 of a second to Russ the Rebel. These two pretty close for P5. Damage imitation from Mazda after his drive-through penalty. He's looking to the inside into Spoon Curve. Can he make this move on Ruster? Ruster leaves him the space on the inside, and Mazda there swoops up the inside. Or was that? Oh, no, sorry, I do apologise. That was the back marker there. I'm so sorry. I'm a div. That's Kodalungu. That's Kodalungu having a lap put on him there. Oh, I'm a div. So Kodalungu there losing out. Mazda getting ahead of him. So Ruster Rebel and Mazda there up into P5 and 6 respectively then, but Mazda lost a bit of time to Russ the Rebel coming through there. I love the downhill right, then up into the long left-hander. Yeah, that was Bridge going into Priory. That was a great section. Then you had Brooklands, the second left-hander, and into Luffield, the right-hand hairpin round onto the old start-finish straight. Oh, it was lovely. I went there in 2008, the last year they ran on the old layout before they. Oh no, it wasn't. It was the second last year. It was the second last year. 2009 was the last year on the old layout, and then they switched it up. Bad with corner names, says Lightblade. I mean, you all know which one Bridge. It's pretty self-explanatory which one Bridge was. It's the one that went under the bridge. The flat-out right-hander. The left-hander after that was Priory, and then Brooklands is still the same. Well, not the same. It's actually a much heavier braking zone now, as you'd expect. It's the end of a long straight, but same corner, same fundamentals. So Russ the Rebel has put a lap here on this traffic, but Mazda's still trying to cut his way through here. Finally manages to get his way through here ahead of John Jig. Cod's there chasing in the background, but he's a little way behind John Jig right now. He's actually lost time to John Jig, which is surprising because John Jig's been being lapped by the GT3 cars, so he's really lost out there as Cod, and I think John Jig pretty safe now in this P2. Mazda though, getting onto the back of Ruster Rebel. Ruster Rebel a little bit wide there on the exit of the Spoon, just tagged the curve a little bit. That would have lost him a bit of momentum here coming out onto this little straight, or long straight really, isn't it? It's a bit of a stretch down towards 130R. Ruster Rebel's now got the gap at just over a second here to Mazda, so he's looking like he might have this one in hand. Tribe in the background, not the background, but in the back of the GT4 class, battling it out with Kinquin. These two running over 6th and 7th. He's looking to the inside. Oh, as they both have to go round. Blimey, that was a bit congested there. As we see Kinquin there holding it around the outside. But Tribe's going to have the inside down this straight. Kinquin's going to get that one done around the outside, though. He's going to have more momentum coming down towards 130R. As Tribe having a little look to the inside in towards 130R. Nothing doing there, though. Tucks in behind for the time being. Mazda still on the back of Russ the Rebel here, just under a second between these two at the moment. They've just had to put a lap there on that Snooky there. They just put a lap on. But Mazda trying his absolute damnedest here in the final part of this race to get himself into P5 and recover some of the points and the positions that he lost due to that drive-through earlier on. Xander says outstanding result for John this if he can keep it together. He's not got too long to hold on now, but the gap between John Jig and Cod came down by 0.8 on that previous lap. So Cod had a stormer of a lap on that previous time around, and maybe just starting to get a bit ahead of steam now. Though having said that, the gap's now gone up a bit. John Jig gained 0.6 through that first sector, so it's ebbing and flowing between these two at this point. The gap at the front hasn't really gone up too much. It's actually, Recco has kept this respectable tonight, to be fair, although Video Gamer is just putting a lap on some traffic. Tribe there and Kinquin, as Video Gamer sneaks up the inside of Tribe, and he's going to get Kinquin here on the exit as well. and those two just playing havoc with the race leader, so the gap would have come down a little bit more there. But Recco Vantage has kept this very much respectable at the front, only 7 or 8 seconds between the top two, so fair play to Recco Vantage. I tipped him for the win earlier on. Maybe that was a bit optimistic. Video Game has just had that a little bit extra over him tonight, but 7 seconds is not too bad at all. If he can keep it under 10 seconds by the time he gets to the checkered flag, I would say that's a reasonably job well done there for Recco Vantage. As King Queen and Tribe still battling it out over 6th and 7th places here in the GT4 class. Tribe still just hasn't quite been able to make the move on King Queen, hasn't been able to catch him unawares and make a lunge or anything. King Queen holding his ground and doing a sort of job. As Tribe very bright there out of Spoon onto the gravel, rattled over the curve a little bit. That would have just lost him a bit of momentum, and it's given King Queen a bit of time to just get himself together again. Ross the Rebel gapped Mazda just over a second, but Mazda's brought that down again, so it was 1.2 over the line. That gap's now come down by a lot. But did Ross the Rebel just make a bit of a mistake there coming through the S's, potentially? Had a bit of a slip, and that's brought Mazda now right back onto him once again. Only just over 10 minutes left to go here in this race, so the laps are winding down, the time is running out, the clock's ticking. Oh, no, what's going on? Oh, Mazda's had a big moment there coming through Degner's, and he's gone wide onto the gravel. He's lost a lot of time there to Ross the Rebel. Ross the Rebel's now got some pretty clear space here ahead of Mazda, and Mazda just a bit of a twitch as he came through Degner 1, and that really put him off course for the rest of that section, that sequence. Ross the Rebel's now got a big gap here. Ross the Rebel's wide. What's happening here, Ross the Rebel? What's going on here? Ross the Rebel ever so wide there as they came up towards Spoon. And he's now, all that time that he gained on Mazda with Mazda's mistake has now just been nullified. Well, everybody seems to be making mistakes here at this stage in the race. Is it a bit of fatigue or concentration starting to go a little bit? Are there any games on PS4 with the old Silverstone track, guys? Lightblade says. F1 2006 Championship Edition. It will definitely worth a download, actually. You know what? Surprising, but it's actually a really good game for the time as well. The graphics are really good, and you can do a full championship season. It's based on the 2006 F1 season. That's one game that's got the you can download on PS4. Yeah, I don't know. Project Cars doesn't have the old Silverstone layout, JR. Unfortunately, it's got the old Silverstone layout, but it hasn't got the old GP circuit. It's got the National, which is the really short one. It's got the International, which is basically just cuts out the Wellington Straight and the sector and the middle sector. It just cuts straight from. You go straight from Village Corner into Chapel Curve, so you literally just cut out half the circuit for the International one, and then the other one is the what's it called, the Silverstone Classic. But Silverstone Classic is not the old GP layout. Well, it is the old GP layout, but it's the old GP layout. It's the ancient GP layout. It's the one that they used back in the 60s, not the one that they used back in until the 2000s. As we see Ross the Rebel there just putting a lap there on Ryan Ruby, and Mazda will be hoping that he can be let through without too many dramas here. Yeah, JR meant like as in the classic one, where you got the classic Monza as well, the one with all the hay barrels and absolute death trap of a track. That one was. I mean, all of them were, to be fair, back in those days. But unfortunately, there's none of the modern old Silverstone, unfortunately, which is a shame, because it was an absolute gem of a track. I love that section that they cut out. Mazda a little bit wide there as they come out of Spoon. King Queen has been passed by Tribe, so Tribe's actually up into 11th as they're just having a lap put on them there. Mad Max coming through. Mad Max will lose out on P3. He'll probably drop down to probably behind Mazda as well, so he'll probably finish P6 in the GT3 class. That'll put PS Vids on the podium, and it'll move Ross the Rebel and Mazda up into 4th and 5th. Mazda could still be on for a P4 in this race if he can get himself ahead of Ross the Rebel, but he's lost a bit of momentum and time coming over the last couple of laps. Now it's 1.8 separating those two. 7 minutes to go, 17 likes on the stream. Can we get a final push, guys? Can we get 20 likes on this stream? Can we do it whilst live on air? That would be absolutely amazing if we can. 12 of you currently watching. If any of you haven't hit that like button, please do it, as it helps us out more than you know. As the gap's gone up actually between Video Gamer and Reco Vantage, is now up at 11 seconds between these two. Mazda's brought the gap down by a tenth to Rust Rebel. Rust Rebel continuing to keep that cushion. And Tribe's now gapped King Quinn by 1.2 seconds, so seems to be in control of that one. Cod's bringing the gap down to John Jig. It's down at 2.8. Last time we looked it was 5 seconds, so Cod has been quietly, just gradually bringing that gap down. And we're probably going to have, I would say, 3 or 4 more laps. It depends on when Video Gamer, the race leader, crosses the line. We're going to either have 3 or 4 more laps here at Suzuka. Potentially even, no, it would be 4 at most. 4 at most. But yeah, it depends on when we cross the line. But at this point, Cod might have a chance to have a crack at John Jig. Maybe on the final lap, if he continues this momentum, he's going to be pushing like crazy. He's going to be driving the wheels off of that Audi. He knows that John Jig, obviously the championship leader, will be definitely in a good position right now, but if Cod can get ahead of John Jig, it will take points off of John Jig and give the initiative to Ryan in the championship. If Cod can get ahead of John Jig, the gap will only be 5 points in the championship between John Jig and Ryan, which will mean that all Ryan will need to do next week is take a win and a pole, so that his fate will be in his own hands if John Jig loses out to Cod. But John Jig at the moment doing everything right, and he's keeping that gap reasonably comfortable at this point. Trying to push now, says Guitar Rich. Smash it, guys. Lightblade knows the drill. And we've got Cod here just it's just being lapped there by Video Gamer. That would have just lost him a little bit of time, but the thing is that Video Gamer's also got to lap Ryan in a moment, so it could, no, not Ryan even, sorry, John Jig. So obviously when Video Gamer comes around to put a lap on John Jig, it might slow John Jig down, although John Jig might get lucky here, because actually Video Gamer's going to come past him on the straight, so it's not going to lose him too much. And here comes Video Gamer. So Video Gamer, starting lap 27, has got 3 laps left to go in this race, including this one. That means that these two behind him, John Jig and Cod, have also got 3 laps left to go. So that gives Cod a little bit more of an opportunity to have a crack at John Jig. Not much more, but it could be crucial by the time we get to the end of this race. So the fact that we are going to have 3 more laps could benefit these two enormously, or could benefit Cod enormously, should I say. It's not going to benefit John Jig, but it could definitely play into Cod's hands. I like before you were talking, said JR. Gotta love this guy. Absolutely avid fan of motive racing. P2 gap only 3 seconds, says Xander, and Cod wouldn't mind swapping paint, that's for sure. Can he get himself into a position where he can swap paint? That's the question, Xander. John Jig just gained a couple of tenths in the first sector, so John Jig's more than a match for him in terms of pace. Cod's really got to throw the kitchen sink here in the final couple of laps. Has he got it in his locker to do so? Ryan's done everything right, got a 25-second gap, and the gap will only be 10 points in the championship going into the final round of the season next week, so all to play for between Ryan and John Jig. But Ryan will need a driver in between himself and John Jig next week, and he'll need to win the race and get pole if he is to take the championship. So at the moment, John Jig, all he needs to do is get P2 next week, and he will be the champion of the GT4 division for this multi-class series on the PS4 here on Assetto Corsa Competizione. I've got really lazy this season. I've stopped saying the full name, Assetto Corsa Competizione. I've just got lazy. I've just started calling it ACC. I used to always just try and be really professional and say it like how it's supposed to be, or how it's written, or how it's officially titled. And then recently I've just lapsed into bad habits and just got lazy with it and just said, oh, ACC, easier. As we see Reco Vantage putting a lap there on Cod, and but Reco Vantage will also have to put a lap on John Jig as well, so maybe that might play into Cod's hands. Who knows? 2 laps left to go here in this race though. Video Gamer coming into turn 1 on the penultimate lap of the race. There is the battle for second place in the GT4 class. They're 25 seconds behind this man Ryan, who has put in an absolutely flawless display tonight, has not put a foot wrong, done exactly what he had to do here tonight as Ryan, and whether or not he's going to get the reward for it next week in the final race of the season in the championship decider remains to be seen. Maybe the last week at Nürburgring could come back to bite him, but for the time being he's doing absolutely everything right here. As the gap between Jonjic and Cod 2.6 seconds here, so it's not coming down at the rate that Cod needs it to. Only gained a couple of tenths on that previous lap. Jonjic is doing enough here to bring home this P2, as long as he doesn't mess up in the last part of this race. Need a mistake for Cod to get near for a move. Pressure could do that, says Xander. He's a clean racer, says JR. Bring it home, John, says Xander Flander. John looks like a match at the moment, says JR. No, leave Cod where he is, says Guitar Rich. Cod catching the GT3 traffic in the worst places. Going to be interesting next race. Cod at the moment within 2 seconds now of Jonjic. The gap's continuing to come down, and look at that. You can see how close he is now. That gap, I reckon, is about 1.7 now, 1.6, 1.7 between the two of them. Cod's just got to go all out on this last lap. He's got to fully commit himself around one final lap here of Suzuka. He's got 20 odd seconds back to Duke Martin, so Cod can afford a mistake. He can afford to beat you on the gravel. He can afford to put it in the wall and still bring it around for a podium. Is he going to just fully go for it here on this final lap? The gap between Ruster Evan and Mazda staying at around 1.3. That battle's still on for 5th in the GT3s. That will be 4th. Obviously, once Mad Max serves that penalty, or rather loses that time, which will be added on to his final race time. Video Gamer, his pace is dropping off a bit now. He's not really extending the gap to Reco Vantage by as much as he was. Once again, Video Gamer taking the life out of his tyres a little bit, but he's done everything right tonight, and he's going to bring it home for a comfortable win. He's had some superb pace over the course of tonight. Reco's starting to come back at him, but it's too late in this race. He's not going to be able to overhaul 11 seconds in one lap. Cod's got the gap at 2 seconds to Jonjic. What's the gap as they come over the line? Here they come. About to start their final lap of the race. Second and third places. Ryan Ruby doing everything he has to do. Jonjic and Cod 1.2 the gap. 1.2 the gap. This could still be on for Kodalungu. He's just got to absolutely send it around one final lap of Suzuka. What's he got to lose at this point? He's got 22 seconds back to Duke Martin. Cod can just absolutely rag that Audi around this track, and who knows, he might get the reward for it, but he is being caught by some of the GT3 traffic in the shape of Mad Max, and let's hope that Mad Max doesn't tag him in the back or do anything a bit sketchy here. He needs to be aware that there is a battle going on just in front of him. Mad Max needs to be careful here as they're now coming it up towards Degner 1. Cod might try and turn in on it here. No, he's going to leave the door open there for Mad Max to just swoop up the inside, and that's lost him a bit of time there. But Mad Max is also going to get ahead of Jonjic as well, so Mad Max could still be a thorn in the side for another of the GT4 drivers here. Where is Video Gamer? Video Gamer is coming through Spoon, so he's got a few corners left to go, just coming up on some traffic. It's not going to be too much of a problem here for him, I'm sure. He's just lapping the GT4 class leader Ryan Ruby, so the two leaders are going to come over the line together. The two race winners tonight for the GT3 and GT4 class are going to come over almost in unison, but the battle rages on here between these two, between Jonjic and Kodalungu, as we see Mad Max now looking to make the move here on Jonjic here as they come into Spoon Curve for the final time. But we're going to cut to Video Gamer as he's coming through the final chicane. He's just got this final little kink to go. He's got Ryan, the GT4 class leader, just behind him. But Video Gamer is going to take his third win in a row here at Motive Racing. What a fantastic job tonight. Dominated the GT3 class in the end. Ryan Ruby takes his third win of the season and closes the gap to Jonjic at the top of the standings in the GT4 class. Those two putting on an absolutely fantastic show. Reco Vantage coming up towards the line is going to take second place here in the GT3 class. Well done to him. He's on for this one though. Jonjic is going to hold on here for second in the GT4 class ahead of Kodalungu. Mad Max is going to come round out in the final corner. It's going to be a third place for him, but he will lose out down to the fact that he didn't come in during the pit window. Mad Max crosses the line and will get a big penalty for that one, but that's Jonjic over the line in second place, and the gap in the championship between Jonjic and Ryan, 10 points. going into the final round of the season. Kodalungu comes over to take a third place. Couldn't be the thorn in the side for Jonjig in the end. Couldn't do his bit for Team Run DJC right at the end. PS Vids comes over in fourth. That will be third once the penalty is handed out to Mad Max, as Ruster Rebel is going to, I think, hold on ahead of Mazda. These two coming through the final sector. 3 seconds separating those two. Where's Pete Bibb? Pete Bibb's coming out of the final corner. It's going to be P10 overall. It's going to be fourth place in the GT4 class for Pete Bibb. A flash the lights as he comes over the line. Tribes picked up a drive through for track limits as he comes up towards the line. It's going to be 11th overall. It's going to be 5th in class for Tribe Racing. Duke Martin, what happened to Duke Martin tonight? Completely missed that one. Didn't see what happened to him in the race, but he well and truly dropped out of it. He was up there in the contention for a podium at one point, but it must have gone Pete Tong for him. He's 20 seconds clear of his teammate Kinquin, though, running in 7th in class. But what a dramatic race tonight. That has been an epic one here. Ryan will be closing the gap to 10 points to Jonjig in the championship coming into the final round of the season. In terms of the GT3 class, Video Gamer making big gains on Reco Vantage in the title race. As we're going to get the table up, I'm going to get my table up. Obviously, it's not updated yet. I'm just going to read them out. So I'm going to calculate this and then read it out. So Reco Vantage was 19 points clear of Video Gamer coming into this. That gap is now going to be 14 points, or rather 13 points, because Video Gamer got pole. So Video Gamer outside chance maybe of taking the title in the GT3 class. If he can get a win next week, he's got an outside chance. He would need Reco Vantage to come 4th or lower for him to take the title. So Video Gamer needs a bit of luck to take the title. Reco Vantage in the box seat leads the GT3 standings, but in fact PS Vids, hold on, PS Vids, let's not forget PS Vids here scores 30 points for tonight. So actually PS Vids only 2 points behind Video Gamer. So actually this battle for the championship really on for the GT3s as well. Video Gamer leads the championship by 2 points to PS Vids. And then, sorry, not Video Gamer, sorry, Reco Vantage, should I say. Reco Vantage leads the championship by 2 points to PS Vids. No, sorry, I do apologise. No, sorry, I'm messing this up. I'm so sorry. No, he's not. He leads by 13 points to Video Gamer, and PS Vids a couple of points behind him in third. So it's Reco Vantage leading the GT3 championship by 13 points. Reco Vantage leads by 13 points over Video Gamer, and PS Vids 2 points behind Video Gamer in third place. So 15 points covering the top 3 in the GT3 class. But guys, what a night of racing we've had here at Suzuka. Absolute pleasure to be able to bring it to you live on the channel. Drop a like, guys, if you did enjoy. If you want to join us again, please make sure you join us next week for the final round of the season. Thanks everybody. Once again, big shout out to Lightblade, Eric the Viking, Xander Fander, Guitar Rich, DDTKU, JR, Raki, Gelram, Alex Jacob, Lexi Mate, High Grade as well, Simplay Motorsport, Matahimovic there as well in the comments, Duke Martin as well, Sarsar as well, and Ryan, David Snook, Senior Gamer, Eric the Viking, Reco Vantage, you guys, Raki. A big thank you to every single one of you. Join us next time, guys. Thanks everybody. We will see you for the final round of the season at Bathurst next week. Also, join us on Friday night for the Formula 1 League. We will be live, same time, same place, at Zandvoort for the Dutch Grand Prix from 6:45 PM BST. And we'll be live for the GT3 Championship on ACC on the PS4 and the PS5. Separate leagues for those two on Sunday night. But once again, it's a big thank you from me, and we'll see you in the next one, guys. Take care, everybody. Good night.